Hello viewer, I want to paint you a picture. Let's say you're sitting on a beach, beautiful white sand. The waves are slowly crashing. You're feeling very sentimental as the sun sets. You might even say it's a touching moment, wouldn't you? And then you realize you're on an island, and it's called Little St. James. Then you look to your left, and there's a guy named Jeffrey. Is that touching moment still very sentimental? Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm, where we explore the facets of language. And so what I just showed you is the context changing. The last episode we discussed what is touch. And so a packaged phrasing thing that I've showed you, right, a rite of passage, vitamins and minerals, this natural forcing function, right? People say a moment is touching, and I had a very touching moment. So at first we were painting that picture, you're on the island, and then you realize you're on Epstein's Island. And so the touching went from sentimental to not so sentimental and more physical. But we're exploring language. I don't even know where I was going with that. I wanted to make an Epstein joke. And what is a touching moment? Well, I guess it depends on context. But anyway, again, going through logical derivation, trying to figure out what is sensorality, why do we censor things, and what is this stabilizing theorem? We're trying to logically exhaust all of our usage. We've got to be getting close. And in this episode, we're going to break down, right, from rhythm to algorithm. And we've made some serious progress on that. Because remember, the theorem, the resolution's been in front of you the whole time. We just have to make it more specific. But it has been in front of you the whole time. But what is touch, right? And as we're sitting there thinking about Epstein's Island, going from an actually touching moment, a sentimental moment, to a physical touching moment, which isn't too exciting, you might have said touche. So what is a touch? Touche. Like literally, once again, it's touch with an E and an accent mark. And so languages aren't distinct, the syllables are fundamental. If you arrange them in the correct order, you get an irreducible word. And so there is this, I don't even know, again, how it is you have irreducible syllables and you have irreducible words. So how do you go from, and clearly words are created by syllables, but that's what I'm saying is a stabilizing theorem for sensorality. The reason each word that I'm saying you already know it's because it's been stabilized. It's the best I can explain it. But so the syllables are unique. They're complete, they're irreducible. The words sometimes are irreducible, like the base word, as we're showing this iteration, the base is irreducible. The prefix and suffix is not like a complete word, it's like packaging or something. I don't know what to make of it, but moving on, right? But touche is literally touch with an accent and an E at the end. And so we've talked a lot about, like, again, logarithm, algorithm, but how about logic, right? The base of logic is log. And so what do we make of that? Sensorality is logality, logicality. But just in general, sensorality is logality. The difference between rhythm and algorithm is logic, right? If a system, you can have a copy machine, if you hit print 100 things, it's going to form a rhythm, and you're going to hear that timing it produces. Boom, 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 boom. As it's processing the printing. Just using examples. But an algorithm. So now we've kind of logically deduced that we haven't defined an algorithm, right? Literally, linguistically, it's algo, right? Something rhythm. But what is it literally? Like if I'm on YouTube and I'm saying the algorithm's blessing me or the algorithm's ghost banning me. Like, is it sensorality with a C? Is it inanimate filtration? Or is it sentient filtration? Well, it's both, right? If you program a computer, you're putting in human value, but it's still an inanimate object executing that training, that programming. And so the difference between rhythm and algorithm is logic. Sensorality is logicality. Logic separates sensorality from speciality. Right? When you're doing something that makes sense, that's censorious. When you're doing something that I don't care, I'm just a sexual antagonist, I'm going to differentiate, right, blah, that is speciality. Logic separates sensorality with a C from sensorality with an S. Logic separates rhythm from algorithm. I just said that, and I said it again. Sensorality discerns rhythm from algorithm. And so now we're changing the verbiage, right? It separates, it discerns, right? Discerning is separating. Now we need the right connecting verb. Are algorithms rhythmic? All right. If my YouTube search thing, I just as is, are algorithms rhythmic? Right? We know what rhythmic motion is. Motion that has a consistent frequency, a system that does work, or a cycle that does work. So do algorithms cycle? Yes. Or do they form an actual rhythm? In the same way a copy machine, right, does it make that sound? You see how we're getting at? I'm not sure we're really close, but I'm not sure what we're asking. But algorithms sort. And so now we're again trying to pair up these right words. We said sensorality with a C sorts last time. An algorithm we've just established is this combination of both sensorality with a C and an S. So we need to make a differentiation, and that's going to be our next axiom, but it has to be the right answer. We're just going to make up the answer. So we've got to be so close. But algorithms sort, that's sensorality with a C. Rhythm sets, that's sensorality with a C. Right? Rhythm sets expectation, rhythm sets timing. Right? If that copy machine's printing off 100 papers, right, you can dance to it. You can jiggle around to it because it's setting a rhythm. And so that's sensorality with a C that is independent of sentience. And then algorithms sort. Algorithms are trained on sensorality with an S, but they are executed with sensorality with a C. So sorting, remember we established that as logically, right, sensorality with a C, sorting as being that inanimate process of filtration, sentience being filtration, sorting being algorithmic. But sensorality is algorithmic. Sensorality is algorithmicality. And so now again, we're trying to take something that society has defined, and then we've taken our variable sensorality, and we're trying to show sensorality is algorithm. But what we've demonstrated is algorithm is not well defined. It's some combination of both sentient and inanimate objects filtering stuff. But algorithms are programmed. Programming is training. Algorithms are chosen, right? Algorithms don't self-identify. Algorithms are built. And then they're just trained on sentient things. And so an algorithm, again, is sensorious with a C. What does that mean? What does sensation mean to an inanimate object? Again, feeling, but feeling is still relevant to sentience. It reacts. Again, reaction. Again, remember, we're just making the things we already know more specific. But algorithmicality is not automaticality. Right? An algorithm is not automatic. It doesn't happen naturally. Humans developed systems, protocols to make things more efficient. So again, now we're very clear. It's again from rhythm to algorithm. We've already isolated that variable, and it's this one-way logical iteration. It has to go through algorithm. Rhythm's completely well defined. What is an algorithm? But it's not automatic, right? What is automatic? Algorithms are synthetic. Synthetic meaning manufactured, meaning produced not by natural evolution. Algorithmicality synthesizes. So now we've generalized what algorithms base is. Algorithmicality, rhythmality, go-rhythmality. Literally, it's go-rhythmality. And so again, we're breaking down, we're not obviously not the final answer, but very rigorously and logically breaking down, because now we've identified that, again, sensorality is this word you've never heard, but an algorithm, what this isolates is algorithm is not well defined. Literally, linguistically, it's something rhythm, and it's just some combination of sentient and inanimate objects filtering things. We just need to make that more specific. Please pay me some money. This is just torture. Again, there's no, once I've shown you this completeness, again, the result is independent of me, but it's demonstrating this process, which is also independent of me. So making me go through these steps again is just torture. As I say on every episode, but nobody cares. Just documenting the crimes being committed against me. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.